Okay, I have something really cool to share with you today. It hopefully will be both entertaining and educational. Now, I do want to point out that when you go to do this, you don't have to have 8 blank cards. You can just work with 8 red and 8 black if you would like, okay? I did it here because it'll give us a chance to go through the whole thing kind of a second time to help you feel comfortable with the steps, and it also carries a bigger punch if you have 3 sets of 8 cards. Okay, on the educational side, I will be showing you a new way to convert a packet of 16 cards into a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. And it builds on what I did recently in a video in which I showed you a nice way to convert a packet of 8 cards into a Bessey sequence of order 8. So I'll link that in the description below. I will also link in the description below a link to Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences in general, so that you know what these are and the many, many ways in which you can mix these special packet arrangements and not hurt them. And then in the end, finish with amazing finales. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn these packets face down. And all of the choices I give you here are genuine choices that you can give the spectator. Okay, so choose any two. It really is your choice. You want the middle one and the last one? Okay, so we'll set this one off to the side for now. We'll use it in just a moment. Okay, how would you like these stacked? Right on left or left on right? Left on right? Okay, very good. Okay, so here is kind of the first part of converting this to a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. What you do is you push off 2 cards like that and create a row of 4 piles, 4 pairs. Okay, same thing here, just like that, 2 cards at a time. Now what we're going to do, similar to what we did with packet sizes of 8, we're going to move those 2 middle ones down and then switch them with these. You're free to stack each row from left to right or right to left independently if you would like. You're free to stack these in whatever order. You want left on right? Okay, very good. And then from there, we just perform either a mange over-under or an under-over. Spectator can decide. Which would you prefer? An over-under. Okay, let me show you what that is. You push the top card into your other hand, and then this next card goes over, under, over, under, over, under, over, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, it is now a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. And I have a write-up I'll show you in just a few minutes to kind of clarify that. Okay, once it's in this organization, there are more than 2 billion unique ways of mixing this packet and not fundamentally harming it, undermining it, or destroying it in any way. Okay? And you can learn that by going to the link Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences. Okay, so what I thought we would do here is just do a little bit of the mixing that you can do, and it won't hurt anything here. So this is just a left-right shuffle, random stack. You want left down right? And so the spectator, in fact, they can do all the work, you know, as long as they don't drop the cards everywhere. You could hand the cards to them and say, okay, deal out into 2 piles. Randomly stack them however you like, and then keep doing that until you feel like you should stop. That's fine. Okay, we'll just do one more here. Finish this one, left on right. Okay, very good. Once the spectator's content that the cards are beyond the knowledge of anyone, to undo the conversion into a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16, all we do is we Klondike. So here we go. So I'm Klondiking pairs to the table. So we're creating 2 rows of 4 pairs, just as we did before, but we're using the Klondike shuffle where you draw the top and bottom off as 1. You do the same switch here, like that. You bring all of these together, and here are 2 piles that we're going to keep separate here. Okay? Let's bring over our pile that we haven't used yet. You're free to mix this one with either one of those. Which one would you like to mix it with? The left one? Okay, so we'll set this one off to the side. Okay, so that one's like done. We won't need that one again. How would you like these stacked? Left on right? Okay, so we're going to go through that same process of getting it into a Quasi-Bessey sequence organization of order 16. Remember what to do? Take these two, draw those down, put those up there. Sorry to being so messy here. Stack from left to right or right to left. It's up to the spectator. Leave it up to them. Okay. Randomly stack these two piles, however spectator would like. Now perform a mange over, under, or under, over. Maybe they'll ask for an under, over this time. So it's very similar. You push the top card into your other hand, and you go under, over, 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 under. Okay. It is now a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16 with billions of ways of mixing it. Why don't we go ahead, and if you want to learn some of these many ways of mixing it, just follow the link in the description below to Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences. You're free to stack from left to right, right to left, or leapfrog stacking. Like to see leapfrog from left to right? Okay, so how it works is this one leaps over its neighbor, lands there. This one leaps over its neighbor, lands there. How would you like these stacked? Right on left? Okay. Now you can do as many of these, or have the spectator do them, as they like. Okay, so you're just doing out into 4 piles of 4. Maybe they'll just want stacking from right to left. No leapfrog. That's fine. We can even deal out into 8 piles if I can fit them. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh, I went off way over there, didn't I? I thought I was okay on the left until I looked at the camera. Oh, wow, this is going to be tight. Apologize for that. Extremely tight. There we go. Is that 8? I think so. Okay, so we'll deal on top of those. Now, believe it or not, you can stack from left to right, right to left, or leapfrog stacking. And I'm not sure if I've shown leapfrog stacking for this long of a list here. So why don't we do leapfrog from right to left? So this one way over here. This one leaps over its neighbor. 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 Random stack here. Left on right? Okay, very good. So you can deal out into 8 piles with random stacking from left to right, right to left, or leapfrog. Okay, and of course we can even do dealing into 2 piles as many times as you like, left on right. Just to show you a few others, you can do an even or odd up jog. This is where you're jogging forward. Let's say the even position cards, randomly stack these. You can actually do a down under. It takes a bit of work, so I'm not sure if I'll take the time to do that. You can even do a Pharaoh shuffle, if you've seen that before. It's a little tricky with 16 cards here. Okay, so what you would do is you count off half of them. 2, move it over, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then you just perfectly interlace them. Okay, now you don't have to do this. This is optional. This is just one of the 2 billion ways that you can mix the cards. Won't hurt anything. Okay. And now we're going to convert it back to what it was before we created this Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. Okay, remember what we did? We do the Klondike shuffle this time into 4 piles. Remember that? Okay, so same steps as before. We switch the middle 2 piles like this. Let's see, slide those down like that. We bring these together like that. Bring these together like that. Now, if you think about the mixing that we did, we had a pile of red, a pile of black, and a pile of blank cards. Okay, so we mix, we don't even know which ones because you chose, but we mixed two of them together thoroughly, and then we separated them into separate piles again of 8 cards, and then we randomly chose one of those two to mix with the third pile that we hadn't touched yet, and we mixed those thoroughly together, and then pulled them apart as 2 piles of 8 cards. Well, you would think with all of that mixing we would have thoroughly mixed the cards, but how well did we actually mix the cards? Are the cards completely scrambled here? What do you think? I don't know. It's not looking like they are. It's looking like black over here, slide it over, red over here, and all the blanks over here. Whoa, how did we do that? Well, it's the magic of these ways of arranging packets of cards where they are unharmed by virtually every systematic shuffling procedure out there, okay? And there's no other sequences of cards that have the same level of invariance as what I'm showing you on my channel. These Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences. Okay, well, I was going to show you a little write-up really fast here. Okay, so here is kind of a picture of a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16 using zeros and ones. Okay, and then the zeros can be anything. So we had the zeros be like, let's say, red cards once, and then the ones were black, and then we kind of we created this special sequence, and then mixed, pulled them apart again, and then we took one of those halves, red or black, and then we mixed them with the blank cards. So there maybe the blank cards went in the slots occupied by the ones, and then maybe we had black cards in the places occupied by zeros. And then we converted that, right, to a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16, mixed it, and then pulled those apart again without seeing the faces of the cards along the way. And then here I mentioned there are more than 2 billion unique ways to mix this packet structure without destroying it, up to inversion. And that just simply means if you go through and replace zeros for ones and ones for zeros, that is the second and only other Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. Okay? So this one right here, starting with a 1, and then its companion that starts with a 0, but you faithfully replaced the zeros for ones and ones for zeros. So take a look at those links below, and I have many, many amazing and easy to perform mathematical card effects in that playlist, Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences. It uses the power of these special packet arrangements to achieve just mind-blowing mathematics. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.